And radio check, radio check. Welcome everybody, and a very happy race day to all race fans joining us. Thank you, Ghost Strike. I appreciate the correction there. It is very quiet on this Laguna Seca raceway with these distant race cameras, but we got onto a cockpit cam and it looks like we did manage to get a little bit of sound out there. We don't want to break everybody's ears by switching over to on board like this and it all going a little bit wrong. And everyone backing off the headphones or the TV. So I'm trying to make sure I give you the best experience possible today. However, I'm sorry to say that most of our drivers are not streaming today. So I so far have managed to only find one driver, two drivers currently streaming. But just a little mention there from Marnik to say that our we're a little bit bright. So let's whack that down. I don't think we're going to struggle there. How's that if I go to this camera? It's a little bit clearer. You can turn it down even further if you prefer. But I mean, it is California. It's going to be bright, right? But yeah, so I've switched view. The leaderboards aren't working. G-Portal's been a little bit on the temperamental side today, to put it very, very mildly. But we are here for the finale of the Premier Division, and I can't wait to get underway. This is how qualifying looks so far. Anyway, the GT3s have had a much foreshortened qualifying session. Nate is in the live chat, is in the pit lane, hasn't set a qualifying time. I desperately hope, Nate, that you are going to be getting out there. I think we'll let you off if you break the rule of going out the wrong time for oh, what is happening there? So my contrast is at maximum. We'll try it at that, shall we, and see. I mean, it's not making a great deal of difference, is it? This is a very bright day here. So absolutely, back on the wheel, give me a break. Oh, well, it's good to have you back on the wheel, Nate. But we do need a qualifying time in from you, so let's see if we can get that sorted. Looks like we've got ourselves 7 GT3 drivers and obviously 7 GT4s. Alpha has the fastest time with their qualifying times. The GT3s over. Alpha is ahead of LFN and Chappie, Major Get Wrecked, and Elite Rain, with Humanoid Forest in P6. Nate currently at the back of the grid right now. I've done my best, I think, to adjust the exposure. Otherwise, we'll be racing in the pitch black, which will be a little bit strange to see. Let's try and find you somebody else to look at. There's a McLaren in the GT4 field for the North Star Racing for the last time, I think, for our teams. So I've had to go for this this setup, and I hope it's okay for everybody. I will try and get you our drivers in there as well. Our 2 drivers that are streaming right now anyway, that I've been able to set up in time. So doing my level best to get you a very clear picture of what's happening with regard to qualifying so far. Currently, it is mighty close between Alohi and Milkman. I can see less than a tenth of a second between the two of them. The mission is clear today for Alpha. He needs to score 8 points. Needs to score 8 points or more to get us through. Now, if we go run to the full 90 minutes, bumper edition today, then the points are multiplied by 150% from normal. So that will help. 30 points are available for a win. So he does need a much smaller amount of places to finish the race. Looks like El Diablo Rob was just... I apologise, Rob, but that was straight into the barrier right there. Let's try and get you right back to the pits then for Rob with a bit of a repair, I imagine, having to happen right now. Get you a little bit of an up-close shot then of the Kessel Run Racing Lone Rider entry here in the Aston Martin. Lots of new faces. Humanoid Forest returns after his debut last time out. I can see Rob El Diablo is here for the first time in my commentary. LFN also for the first time there. So hi to everybody watching as well as we tick down the final few seconds of qualifying. Ghost Stroke with his bacon emojis was out there. Bullman's been watching as well. He hasn't even taken much of a break from his commentary, I'm sure, and straight back into it. I'm hoping that everyone has got us up on the big TV today, wherever you're watching from, and a big hello to Marnik as well. Unfortunately, Marnik is not able to race today with a commitment elsewhere. His team needs him, and that's no surprise with someone of Marnik's caliber, that he's a man in high demand. But unfortunately, that means that championship-wise, he is unable to defend his championship out here today. Hi to Logan, and back with Bullman again. Nate, are we going to get out onto the straight? I don't think we are. We're going to be starting at the back here, Nate. Ghost Drake says work calls today, unfortunately. Well, my apologies. Well, that is qualifying done. So in the GT4 field, Alohi ahead of Milkman, Lone Rider and Topher. Lone Rider there showing very well indeed on his debut. Topher in 10th overall, with Rob El Diablo in 11th. North Sea and Slambonin. Nate will start at the back of the field. I won't start at all, thank goodness. Team names are not correct. No worries about it. Okay, I should be able to tell at this stage, race 7 of the championship, where things are. These are the standings then, thanks to Nate for building all of these for us. And you can see there with the drop total, Marnik unable to defend his position at the moment. Alpha with a chance to take the title if he can score 8 points or more. If he scores 8 points exactly, he still wins, I think, on result count back, but I think the safest thing is for him to get 9 points instead. On the very outside edge of the possibility, you can see we've got Angel there. So let's say we have a situation where Alpha scores no points and Angel takes the overall win, which he'll do an incredible job to manage if he does, because he's not here today either so far. We'll see if he joins in the intermission here in between sessions, but it looks like Alpha's got a great chance. He does need to finish the race and pick up some decent points out there. Aries could well find himself challenging with Hellgrind, although again, Aries and Hellgrind aren't here today. Well, this is such a shame because we've had some epic large fields in Black Flag this season, and it's just, I think, partly it's down to that stupid soccer game and their global tournament today that is on, and it's the height of Northern Hemisphere summer as well. In the Premier season, in the Premier Series, I should say, slightly out of order, but we've got GTX Dave and White Rice at the top of the championship. GTX Dave should be able to take it, but again, Alohi with a win today, and he's got the pole position. With a win today, Alohi might be able to sneak himself into position, because I think he'll get 30 for a win with the pole position. So I think that's the way things are going to work out, but don't come to me for in-race maths. You tell me in the live chat, and if I've got two people agreeing, I will probably speculate on that front. But everything to fight for in the lower placings of here, and it looks like North Star Racing have got everything that they need for the championship so far. This is a thrill ride then we're going to have around the roller coaster Laguna Seca circuit, and in California, of course. And we're going to go for 90 minutes. Fingers crossed. If everyone is watching today has their fingers crossed, says their prayers, does their whatever their deity demands in terms of ritual sacrifice or dancing, then do that, because we want to try and get our full race here and make sure we get everything together today. The countdown is beginning for the formation lap. I will get you there very soon, but you can see North Star are well ahead of Chewy Motorsports. It's not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely that North Star will be pipped today, with also Kessel Run on 122, double the points almost of the late breakers. So huge gaps in the field as things stand. Let's go find us some drivers, shall we? Someone I see hasn't set their settings up correctly. The drivers are already through let me get onto here. They're already through onto our corkscrew area of the racetrack. Lots to see, lots to enjoy. Hopefully I can now safely add you a couple of drivers. I've got you some Elite Rain, and I've got you a little bit, in fact I can make Elite Rain that little bit bigger there, because we don't need to worry about me. So 14 drivers will compete over this hour and a half here. An even mix, funnily enough, of our GT3 and GT4 drivers. I'm giving you the temperature, but actually I'm going to move Nate up here. Oh no, we need the race time. Okay, I'm doing my best here to give you everything. It's a brand new view for me as the drivers get themselves ready then to go racing. Here they are for the final time then this season, as they get ready for a bumper edition. The green flag will fly momentarily, and it's dropped the clutch. It's go, go, go. Alpha where he needs to be in the BMW for Chewy Motorsports, on the inside lane, on the way down in towards the first corner, the first real corner, which is the Andretti hairpin. LFN is on his outside as he runs through, and we can see Chappie in P3 following through, and we've got Major Get Wrecked in his lone Audi in the 215 there. Fantastic camera angle once again there from ACC, but we have them filtering through beautifully. Major Get Wrecked in 4th, Elite Rain in 5th position, Humanoid Forest out in 6th place, with Milkman in P7. Alohi dropping 1 position to the Milkman, and certainly Alohi needs every point he can get here today as they head down in towards that tricky left-hander of turn 5 and power on uphill towards the blink and you miss it turn 6 that builds the speed, still climbing up the hill here, and it looks like LFN has had an off or a loss of traction there. Alpha going all the way off the circuit on the way into the corkscrew. Absolutely anybody's as we continue through the order. Milkman ahead of Alohi safely with Topher in P10, Rob El Diablo in 11th with Slambone in there fighting with North Sea Bub at the back. We've seen that Nate is already up to 7th at the back of the field of the GT3s. Lone Rider did start from the pit lane, so all is well for him. Back to the lead of the race though, which is only 0.3 of a second, just over, as Chappie, Major Get Wrecked and Elite Rain do their best to try and challenge here Alpha, although you have to say Chappie is probably under instruction right now to protect Alpha at all costs, because that is his championship right there. If he can get those all-important points, he needs the most straightforward race he possibly can. 1 mandatory pit stop today. I wondered if that might change, but we've got 1 mandatory pit stop for you. Elite Rain is in P4 at the moment. Shout up if you see any graphic issue. It might even get a little wave from Nate if he's listening in on the stream there. You can actually see Nate in camera, and he's protecting his settings as well and his tire temperatures, so we don't see what he's got on board. But yeah, Nate, tell me if Nate does give us a wave on the stream. There isn't much in the way of straightaways here at Laguna Seca. Everywhere's a little bit compromised, but there is Nate in his McLaren, in his favoured McLaren, but he's in his late breakers colour scheme. Late breakers desperately in need of points at the moment. Major Getrect has the fastest lap of the race so far anyway. Milkman and Alohi. Alohi has been able to get back by Milkman, so Alohi on track here to try and steal that GT4 title from underneath White Rice and GTX Dave. We'll see if that's possible. We will need full points, full points to be paid here today. There goes a good move coming, and that looks to be LFN on, sorry, that's Elite Rain on LFN. And they were momentarily ahead, but LFN with the inside lane. Now they're heading in towards turn 4 underneath the tyre footbridge to the outside edge of the circuit. Very dusty offline there as Elite Rain flash of the lights on LFN. Might be feeling as if the reserve driver should probably step aside, but I'm sure that he's here for his own results and those of his team. LFN in the number 7 there, and we've got Elite Rain out in P5, still chasing down Major Getrect, who is not able to stick with Chappie. Dropped 2 seconds, and in fact Major Getrect is off the circuit. Where is Major Getrect at the moment? He's just hit down through his through the compression, and he rejoins then way back and dropping down the order. It's reading is still in 3rd, but that will suddenly drop down on our settings there. He's dropped behind Humanoid Forest on the circuit anyway, on the circuit map. So he has dropped his places. There we go. It's now catching up. Alpha leads by 2.4 seconds from Chappie here in the Ferrari 296, the number 405, and LFN hanging on here in P3 ahead of Elite Rain and Nate up from the absolute back of the grid. There, P13 it was because of I think Lowriders restart from the pit lane. Humanoid Forest is in P6 in his Kessel Run Racing Ferrari, and we've got Major Getrect has rejoined, but unfortunately for a long race like this we have a damage almost certainly on the car there on the 215. It's a long way to the pit stop, the pit window. I don't think it opens after 20 minutes. I think it might be deeper into the race. We will wait and see. But here comes Alohi then in P1, leading his field. Milkman is right on his tail, and we'll perhaps watch with Milkman there as we get a better apex this time through turn 5. Looking good for him at the moment. And climbing the hill then, the Rahal Straight, obviously named after Graham Rahal. Then you can see just how little of the racetrack you can see. You can barely see the braking markers. Can't see the apexes of both corners as you turn in. You just commit based on memory and feel, and trying to stick with it. Not carrying quite as much speed, Milkman, through the rainy curve. R-A-I-N-E-Y, not as in precipitation. And you can see Alohi definitely struggling with understeer, but both drivers head on out onto the gravel with two tyres there. Topher is in 10th, 3rd in class right now, with Rob El Diablo for the late breakers in the Mercedes AMG. Slambonin is in 12th with North Sea Bub right with him, and Lone Rider is a lap down. I'm not sure what happened to Lone Rider. Unfortunately, he's marked as a lap down in the 76. I don't know if you've got the broadcast on a big enough screen to actually see where the 76 is. I can see it just crossing the start finish line now on my track map, so that seems a little bit ungenerous. It's actually 16 seconds his gap back to this tail runners of the GT4 field. 356 is North Sea Bub in the Porsche. And it's very good to have everybody with us here for the final time of the season. Keeping our eye, of course, on what's happening. I can see Nate is just 0.7 of a second away from Elite Rain. And they should play nicely together here. Our two drivers in focus on the top right, bottom left, Nate and Elite Rain. We will see if they manage to play nice here as teammates, or are all gloves off, because frankly teams are going to be mixed up, I strongly suspect, next season. There's certainly going to be some free agents out there with team bosses wanting to secure their services for the next season of Black Flag Racing. So we will see if they manage to maintain amicable racing throughout the course of this 90-minute race. It is currently we've just had 8 minutes just about since the green flag. Weather, relatively mild day in California here, 19 degrees centigrade, 22 degrees on track temperature. It's marked as fast, but it would be far from optimum in terms of the performance there. Absolutely no wind. I don't know if that's normal for Laguna Seca. I suspect not, but zero wind to contend with as well. And I'm just seeing a cloudy day on the horizon here for our drivers. Let's ride with Alohi here and see. I just want to double check my keybinds. I think we're okay. It's quite a cool camera angle as we approach with relative caution the fearsome corkscrew corner. You can see what a challenge it is for our drivers, lap after lap. One of those World Motorsport corners where you hold your breath every single time. I've yet to find out why the asphalt turns to the left, the exit or the run through into turn 10, 11. Comes on now as we run out there. Plenty of crowd enjoying the race with us today. Good to see. Alohi's pulled out a 2-second gap to Milkman, and under a second is Rob El Diablo behind of Topher. So late breakers have thrown a lot of drivers today at the race, and that is obviously going to be really useful for them to pick up as many points as possible. I still think it might be outside of the realms of possibility to lift themselves from 4th and last place in the team's championship, but they're certainly giving it everything they possibly can. The lead out front in the GT3s is about 4.3 seconds. Wow! Fantastic side lift there. 2-wheel on the ground, 2-wheel very much in the air from North Sea. Absolutely brilliant to see. Fantastically well held as well. Didn't end up in the barrier. Got it back down on all 4 wheels, and that was definitely a big highlight of today. So congratulations to him. Really good moment. Where is everybody else? You've got Nate just 0.8 of a second away from his teammate, and he is the closest driver to any other at this stage, but only by the tiniest of margins. Rob El Diablo, as Logan says, clip that. Do you know what? My replay thing on OBS has stopped working today, so I couldn't even press the replay button, but we'll try and clip that. Yeah, absolutely. Leave me a timestamp in the main comments for me, because that was cool. That was super cool. Humanoid Forest is off on the gravel. It's not been happy hunting ground so far for our Kessel Run Racing GT3s. Both had some pretty wild moments. Major get wrecked, now closing in on his teammate Humanoid Forest. Major will be feeling somewhat hot and bothered, I think, but of course it is a big advantage of having this longer race, is that most everybody, I suspect, will end up with some sort of problem today. And it's just about making sure it doesn't negatively affect their races, but to too great an extent. Alohi leads the GT4 field. Exactly what he needs to do here, Alohi. He has a 4.5 second gap. Back to Milkman, and we go back to see the battle currently between Rob El Diablo in 4th and Topher in 3rd in that GT4 field. We'll join him on board, shall we? Hope you don't mind, but I'm going to crack a drink open. it's a warm day here in the UK. Hopefully the last of our current heat wave that we're experiencing. So you can see Alpha leads by 5.2 seconds from Chappie, who himself has a gap of 3.4 seconds over LFN on his debut with us in Premier anyway. Elite Rain, 7 seconds back. Oh, Sam Bonin down. No, that was Alpha coming through just now from that position. So Alpha coming to lap the drivers here after just what is that, 13 minutes, and he's lapped the back half of the GT4 field. So amazing to see already. And not only that, but how far back is Chappie and LFN. Chappie has that is the McLaren of Sam Bonin behind of him. And here is Chappie. As Nickel says, such a tough track, this one. Absolutely. Who decided to go an extra 50% in terms of race distance out of a track like this? Very, very tricky, but it will keep the drivers focused and entertained. There's no time, no moments on the track to even chill out and relax. It's going to be really hard managing your pit stops as well, I suspect. Out here. Over to the fantastic helicopter cam. You can see Chappie marked as a lap down, but he's on the start-finish straight away, so that will catch up to 8.5 seconds at this stage. Well, Nickel, you need to go back a few minutes to see what the situation is with a hit on a sausage cut. We had a fabulous moment there, but absolutely. Here they come then. The GT3 field passed. GTX Day saying 81 minus 48 equals 33. Good. Okay, so you believe you've already won the championship, is that right? Because I think 30 are available today. So that does track. But we might dock you 4 points, GTX Dave, for not showing up for the finale. Who knows? And then where will you be? But yes, I did tell everybody not to trust me when it comes to maths, or math. In fact, there is Chappie in P3, LFN in the McLaren just ahead of him. Can't quite see how far Nate is back. There we go, 9.8 seconds at this stage as Chappie continues. So what do we think, live audience? Should we dock GTX Dave 4 points for not being here? Chef Gonwire, why did you just say that? Please don't. We can congratulate G Portal for their servers after the race is run. please, don't curse the race. I'm gonna record that on your tab, that one, Chef Gonwire. LFN then in P2, just passing Chappie through that sequence. Chappie going a little bit wide, struggling through the traffic, and LFN now up to P2. And what a start! I was surprised to see not see so many prospect drivers come on into the server. There's room so that they could gain points for their teams. I believe they had a shortened race. California mountains in the background then as you crest over the top of the hill. Still climbing. Now we pitch downhill very, very quickly into this corkscrew corner. And at the moment you've got Nate in P4. Can he get himself back on the podium here today? I wonder, but it's 11 seconds to the back there. Yeah, GTX Dave, but did he not get pole and he could get fastest lap? I'm thinking, but yeah. Anyway, there we have LFN passing the Aston Martin. I think that's a Lohi's Aston Martin, is it? It is. The 57. So LFN has now lapped the entire GT4 field after, what are we looking at? 16.5 minutes or so. They're so quick. The pace differential between the cars really showing up here at Laguna Seca. Relatively short track. Alpha out front for Chewy Motorsports in P1 with the fastest lap as well at this stage. Looking very good for now, but does need this race to get to halfway point, and he needs to be here for every available lap of the race. 1 hour 12 still on the clock. The 98 navigating beautifully. 11.2 seconds in the lead. Oh, thanks GTX Dave. All right, okay. Congratulations on your championship, Dave. But Alohi is going to try and get himself a win nonetheless. Here he is, Alohi. It could be a double Chewy Motorsports win as well in the two classes. I don't know how often a double win has actually happened this season. Milkman, and that appears to be, is that Elite Reign's Mustang? I think it is indeed. So just making his way by Milkman there. Elite Reign behind him. You've got Nate trying to carve through the traffic a little bit quicker. He's lost a little bit of ground to Elite Reign. 3.2 seconds right now, but on the throttle over the hill and pitching downhill in towards the Andretti hairpin goes Nate, which we've been able to watch throughout the course of the race, of course, at the top right hand of your screen. Hope the screens are not getting too much in the way of your enjoyment. I did want to make sure you could see Nate fighting the wheel as well, back on his proper setup as well. Fantastic to see. Major get wrecked, running through the dirt, left by the car in front. Humanoid Forest not far away still. Well, he is now far away. 8.9 seconds. This Laguna Seca track does seem to be causing more problems for Humanoid Forest than Snetterton did. Our closest battle at the moment is Topher here. Right on board with Topher for a few minutes in the driver camp in the Chevy, as he two very different lines through that corner from Topher and Rob El Diablo, down through the gears all the way down to first gear in the GT4 here. I don't know how annoying those windshield strips are. You just stop seeing them probably. Less annoying on this camera if you use this one. This is the helmet cam. So we continue then, half a second between Topher and Rob El Diablo. Behind them, 6.3 seconds to Slam Bonin. This track really has opened those gaps up significantly. Car's getting very light on that section. It's easy to lose the car heading down what is essentially the start-finish straight with the change of elevation and just trying to hit your braking point correctly as the track curves to the left before approaching a left hairpin. Really quite a tricky sequence there. Been watching Elite Reign and Nate on the screen, of course. And we have Chappie in P3. He's 4.2 seconds ahead of Elite Reign at this stage. We've got LFN with a amazing performance so far in the number 7. Good to see the McLaren performing well. You would expect it at a track like Laguna Seca, I think. And that is the corner we saw the two wheels moment earlier on. Is it Slam Bonin who did that? No, it was North Sea Bub there on in the Porsche. Work Nickel saying Topher has that GT4 rolling. Great driving from him in all series today. Was he driving the same GT4 in Prospect? Very wide from LFN. He's on a mission, is LFN. I don't see a... there it is. I was just going to say a timing update for him, but it's 11.4 seconds. Pit window still hasn't opened, I believe. So I think we will see drivers not refusing to take tyres in the pit stops. And they probably haven't decided to run around with full fuel tanks either. So my anticipation here is that everybody fuels and tyre changes. That's a tricky thing to do then, Work Nichols saying that Topher has changed from GT3 to GT4. So he's gone for a slower car in his second session. That is certainly going to be a big challenge. He's rising to it at this stage. The 405 Chappie in P3. Alpha continues to lead, and we've got Elite Rain and Nate tailing each other. Well, certainly Nate tailing Elite Rain, which is quite interesting given that those are the two cars that we have on the screen at the moment. Slam did as well. Nice. Okay, I wonder if his if he managed to perform the acrobatics in Prospect as he did here in Premier. Humanoid Forest, it's actually Major Get Wrecked back there, who is putting in some great times. Remember, he was at the back of the field of GT3 cars after lap 1. First run through our let me get this right. First run through the corkscrew, and he was posted off to the left of the racetrack. But here he is catching Nate and Elite Rain. Oh, nice one, Work Nickel. I don't want to give out any spoilers for Bullman's stream for anybody watching, but Slam had a good run in the in Prospect. You can see how much drift Major Get Wrecked has got on the Audi set up through those corners. It is a low grip, drifty kind of track, but that was quite a lot. Back to Nate then. Let's go up onto the wide helicopter cam then, while we're focusing on the two drivers that we've got POVs of on the screen. Thank you to them for streaming. And if Major Get Wrecked is streaming, he didn't switch it on very early, so I haven't been able to grab his stream. It would be nice to have our traditional setup, but like I say, our leaderboards aren't working today either, so that's why I've had to switch out to this this view. Seems okay. Do you value having the overall standings on the screen at all times like this? I know it reduces our view of the racetrack a little bit. Oh, that's wide from Nate, and he allows Major Get Wrecked to go through there. So Nate has now dropped back from Elite Rain after shadowing him throughout the course of the race to this point. 25.5 minutes have been driven. So a bit of a shame there from Nate, but I'm sure he'll rebuild. And as Laguna Seca dramatic moments go, that was a fairly tame one. So maybe he's doing okay. Hi to Kai Gullard as well. Nice to see you with us. If you haven't said hello yet in live chat, by the way, do so. That'll be awesome. And you can go ahead and tell me anything you're noticing on the track, or ask some questions if you wish to. Major Get Wrecked in P5, Nate down in 6th, Humanoid Forest in 7th, 13 seconds away from P6 in the field there. And then Alohi leads the GT4 field. Sizable gaps in this GT4 field. The closest ones are Slambonin and Topher, but Slambonin is having to allow the McLaren North Star Racing, I think that's LFN, to come through for the second time here. Chef Gonworth agreeing that Slam was on a burner in Prospects. Yeah, great to hear. How's North Sea Bub doing at the moment? Has he ordered a fresh race suit to get on after his wild moment? One of the wildest moments I think I can remember seeing in ACC, to be honest. That one. Lone Rider is just led his teammate by in Kessel Run Racing. Lone Rider racing the Aston Martin as the Audi of Major Get Wrecked goes by. The only Audi, of course, in the field. Nate will then queue up to run past as well. As Carl said, heard Chef was on a tear as well. I read a few comments from Chev in the Discord before the race began here at Premier. He didn't sound very happy, so we will. Well, I think I did see that he had calmed down, but yes, Chef Gonwa. I didn't know if there was a trace of irony when you said it's nice to see the servers working for Premier. Obviously, we have had problems at Premier in seasons past. Kyle Army springs to mind with several restarts. Where's Chappie going? A new rallycross style approach to the circuit, the 405 there. LFN is, well, we're just waiting on his time update relative to Alpha. He's not a full lap down on Alpha, but Chappie is 22 seconds away from P2. LFN is 13.3 seconds away from Alpha. Alpha looks to be having this all his own way if he can keep the car on the racetrack today. Elite Rain in 4th, 2.8 seconds away from Chappie. And we have Major Getrek now from the back of the GT3 field back to P5 and on the hunt then. I think he might have fancied his chances at a podium today, Major Getrek, when he looked at the reduced field. Chef Gonmar was late to racing, still managed to wake up and get onto the track. Good to hear. Major Getrek in 5th place then, as I said, with Nate 2.5 seconds further back in 6th. Alohi is 7th, leading the field in his GT4. Yeah, he's just being passed, I believe, by Alpha. The 98 there, leading the race. Those are your two class leaders, and the GT3 walks its way, gapping the GT4 leader here in the 57. Alohi needs that Heinz sponsorship sorting out for next season. Milkman is 10.3 seconds away from Alohi, and that looks to be LFN coming through. Quite a lot of gold on LFN's McLaren design in the North Star Racing version of the McLaren. Rob El Diablo, 3rd in the GT4 class in the number 69. There's always one driver who goes for the number 69, isn't there? And Topher is the 485, who is 8 seconds away from 9th place overall, 3rd in the class. So he's got a little bit of work to do here before he can dream of a GT4 podium. Topher Slamponin is being passed rapidly by Chappie. Chappie down the inside, neat and tidy, and North Sea Bub also being passed by Elite Rain in his Mustang in the 420. So North Sea Bub only 2.6 seconds away from Slambonin at this stage. We have a look at Lone Rider in his Aston Martin GT4. It's right on board with the GT4. That looks like a controller driver straight away. That looks a little bit controllery, doesn't it? That handling. Gonmar has calmed down now. Absolutely, you got some breakfast down you as well. Hopefully. So we've had the first half hour. Pit window has still not opened. I imagine that will be happening pretty soon. Usually it's 1/3 and 2/3 of the race. It's not always exact though, so we'll listen out for pit lane is open from Hans, our race director. I don't know if I've covered the position on screen where it will actually say that, so I'll have to keep a very close ear. If I don't talk about it when it happens, feel free to let me know. How's Nate doing here? Oh, he's passing. That is North Sea Bub in the Porsche. You can see Major Getrek just 2 seconds in front, just turning on into Andretti. Goes through turn 5 up to turn 6. Grab as much of that apex as possible. Get back on the throttle as soon as you feel the nose start to grip in. And Nate is, I think, catching here Major Guerrero, who's been held up in the corkscrew. Horrible place to catch a GT4 car for Major. And in fact, he's making life even harder for him. They'll be looking for a good exit here, try and get down, well, I was going to say the inside, but he's gone for the outside line all the same, and cutting back on his teammate there across divisions. Nate just 2.5 seconds away from Major Get Wrecked. Looks like North Sea Pub has caught Slambonin. Let's check this one out. The Porsche looks a lot smaller, a GT4 car here, than the McLaren. Looks scaled down, doesn't it, the Porsche? But we'll get a bit closer for you. We'll get a little bit of ambient sound. Firing out then underneath the tyre bridge. Seems to change depending on sim or current sponsor on the track. Under the Mother's Polish banner as well. Through into that turn 5. North Sea Bub getting a really good exit out of turn 5 as they head up to turn 6. He's got that inside line as well. Very neat from North Sea, and claiming the position over Slambonin. He'll like that one. That was very smooth. That's putting pressure on. Can you get into the best parts of the corkscrew there? I think he can. For this metallic red stripe on his red car, it makes for quite an interesting contrast with certain light conditions. Other light conditions looks identical. Down we go into the final corner, turn 11, and out onto the main straightaway. It's 0.3 of a second only, the gap to Slambonin for North Sea. Slambonin coming back at him. So just under half a second between them. And looks like, there it is, the pit window open. And it's only open for 20 minutes as well, so the pit window is only 20 minutes. That's interesting for me. I've not done a 90-minute race before here in ACC, so it's still a 20-minute pit window. It just means fairly large chunks of the race either side. So we're getting towards that halfway point on the race. And helpfully it actually says on the top right of your screen, pit window open as well, doesn't it? So there we go. Very cool. Very, very cool to see. Got one wheel in the air there from the car they're catching. That's not Topher, is it? Topher's way up there. It was a Ford. I think it was a Ford ahead of them. But yeah, let's just see what we can see if we go onto the helicopter cam. I'm sure it was. It's North Sea. Certainly it was a late breakers car. And North Sea now gapping Slambonin over the course of that lap. So very handy overtake for North Sea. And he's, what is he, 2.4 seconds away from Topher. And that's what he'll be thinking about now, that he's got that gap out to 0.9 of a second on Slambonin. It might be about to shrink quite rapidly, actually, looking at it. It is shrinking very, very rapidly. So he's lost a bit of momentum, has North Sea. Good exit, though. This middle sector, he seems to be able to stretch his legs. Still, GT3 field led by Alpha ahead of LFN and Chappie. The GT4 field is Alohi, Milkman and Rob El Diablo. Oh, appreciate that. For Go Strokes, there's Go late, Team Late Breakers. Trying to get off the bottom of the heap here in terms of the championship positions. And that is Topher in front. Ghost Stroke, what is the deal with the bacon right now, Ghost Stroke? Why are we obsessed with bacon? North Sea, 3 seconds away from Topher, just 3/10 of a second away from Slambonin behind, but that's not Slambonin. Slambonin has got into the pit lane then, getting into some clear air. Am I not obsessed with bacon? I mean, not as much, no, I have to say, but it's very tasty, but I don't eat it very often. In we go. For Slambonin then, pit stop in operation. The first of our planned pit stops. Having said that, Lone Rider has gone in and cleared his pit stop, so his number 1 in an orange has gone to a blank green tile. Back to see our leader then. This is back with Alpha, who's just made his way by Rob El Diablo. Hey, I'm not, there's no criticism, but you're the only person sending bacon emojis. So when everybody else sends bacon emojis, I will absolutely admit that I'm the odd one. You can send whatever food emoji you feel like, apart from the ones that mean other things. Here is, oh, that's a squeaky moment there for Alpha as he sees the Castle Run Racing Aston Martin of, is that the Milkman? Alpha will not be having a good time out there. I think that's not the Milkman, my apologies. It's not a low heat either. It must have been a Lone Rider who just cleared his pit stop. Alpha makes another lap pass then, and back to the very top of the tree. He's 28 laps into the race right now. There you go. Bowman's a bacon fan as well. Fantastic. Alpha P1 ahead of LFN. Don't forget any tips that you feel like sending for the season. Do so either in the live chat today, or if you wish to, I'm sure Logan will let you know how to send them my way via PayPal or whatever. That would be awesome. But you can also check out the affiliate links I've put in various things, so you don't even have to send me anything. Just use my affiliate links for different sim racing or related brands that are very, very useful, and often it gets you a discount on top of a little something for me as well. So you know, there are many ways to support the channel. If you so wished in the off season, what you could do is you could leave some videos running, like a playlist running overnight. That helps the metrics as well. It doesn't cost you anything if you've got 24/7 Wi-Fi in operation. Major get wrecked. 0.8 of a second here behind Elite Rain. It's looking very good for him right now. Let's watch him on the chase view. Major in the 215, knocking on the door of P4 right now. Looking awesome right now through. There's some sparks kicked up from Elite Rain's Mustang as we climb the mountain once again. Beautiful sounding Audi. A little bit early on the turn-in, but corrected it. And then understeering. It's probably a sign that the tyres are close to having had enough here. Major, just 0.8 of a second away. This is looking like a strong performance, not counting the first lap from Major. And that was just cold tyres, I imagine, that caused that moment for him. Brakes are squeaking for Major here as well. That is quite some camera angle coming through. That is turn 3 into 4 now. So he's starting to become a concern in the mirrors here of Elite Rain, I feel. wide. Nice line from Major on the way through turn 6. Turn 7 is just a little approach braking zone really for the corkscrew. No flash of the lights just yet from Major. He's feeling patient at this stage, I think. We'll see if either driver decide to go into the pits. That's way out on the dirt on the outside of the turn. I don't know if you can call it gravel there. It's more like sand, isn't it? Major 0.6 of a second now behind Elite Rain. Let's see how Elite Rain is handling it. Bottom left of your screen as well. There we go into Andretti. Work Nickel cheering on Major here. I imagine that's down to their being on the same team. Or just really good friends. Who knows? Major Get Wrecked, famous for beer drinking before and sometimes during, and definitely after his sim races. Racing out of the Netherlands is Major. I know he did say he was reducing that activity though, focusing on his speed. Let's see. Just dropping back slightly. Might have been feeling like he was getting caught up in the dirty air. Oh, good. No, he's a good guy. Is Major Get Wrecked. We've I wouldn't call it raced. We've appeared on the same track at the same time, very different pace, and shared a voice channel from time to time. He is a lot of fun for sure. Major Get Wrecked, 1 second away here from Elite Rain, from 7th after lap 1. Major up to 5th now, and most of the GT4 field have now cleared their mandatory pit stops. Funnily enough, just going back to Slam Bonin for a second here. Check out him following Topher. Excuse me. Looks like Rob El Diablo. With a great bit of North Sea is the one who has stayed ahead here. He's on the late pit stop. It's exactly halfway right now of the race as we go through the final turn here with Slam Bonin. Here is North Sea Bub, who's going past that halfway point, but most of the GT4 field have decided to go in. There you go, just heard in my ear, it's the halfway mark. Slam Bonin 0.8 of a second away from Topher. Switch out the camera, shall we, for a second? These cameras not so great for ambient sound, unfortunately, here at Laguna Seca. If I turned it up, I could probably turn it up thinking about it, actually. Let's turn up the sound a bit. And we should just double check that we don't blow everybody's ears off, so be prepared right now. Yeah, that's good actually, that's pretty good. There we go. Okay, I think that might be slightly better for us. Slam Bonin. 1.4 seconds away. Major Get Wrecked has stayed with Elite Rain, is as close as we've seen him so far to Elite Rain's diffuser and rear wing. As they have, I believe, just been... that's Alpha who's pitted and come out in 2nd place just ahead of them. So he'll be on fresh tyres right now, I think, Alpha. It's a significant drop of time, but Chappie now is your leader in this short period of 8.5 minutes or less before he has to take his mandatory pit stop. Major Get Wrecked, half a second here away from Elite Rain. Let's join Major on the nose. How's that camera? Not too bad. This is on board with Major Get Wrecked then. And we're going to follow the driver in. Now, why would we follow Elite Rain in here? With different teams, you do the opposite, don't you? If you're following a driver and you've been held up a little bit by them. But into the pit lane we go, together. Find our pit box. go for that mandatory pit stop. 1 litre of fuel is the minimum that you have to fit. This is Chappie in the Ferrari, leading the race at this stage. 33 laps old, the race so far. Just gone past that that halfway point. Gray says he totally missed the overcut. Well, maybe he felt like he had no choice with tyres, or out of fuel exactly, and you're just out of options then at that point. Most drivers, I think, would put a little bit more fuel in than a half distance, but maybe the calculation is a little bit easier if you do split it directly down the middle. But he did go a little bit further than halfway. I feel like a lap on low fuel would have given him a good shot at the overcut, passing with the light fuel instead of the new tyres. Into the pits then comes Chappie, so we will see Chewy Motorsports Alpha retake the lead of the race. It was only a very short period there, so Alpha back to the top and on track here to take the championship from 3rd place coming into the championship day. Sorry, from 2nd place in the championship. I'm getting confused with other drivers. Here he is. Alpha has been fantastic this season, but it would have been nice to have seen him fight with Marnik on track. It's just a shame that Marnik had another commitment. I think he said he's racing a 6-hour race, so there's just 6 minutes left for Nate Chappie. Well, Nate pretty much only to take his pit stop. Chappie, we know, was just in the pits. Here he is, 9.1 seconds, Nate in 2nd place, but obviously pit stop coming up in less than 5.5 minutes, or he will take a stop go, I think it is, for that, and he'd then have to go back to the pits to get his pit stop done. So stop go doesn't count as a pit stop. You can't just stop for a required period of time and change it up. In fact, I've got a feeling it's actually a stop go 30 second stationary penalty for not taking your pit stop during the mandatory period. Here we go. We're going to cut across. This is the... No, we're going to stay out again. Cut it really close to the wire. Track temperature has gone up to 24 degrees centigrade. And it is 20 degrees ambient. Still no wind whatsoever. The arrow continues to change as the driver goes around the turns, but there is 0 kilometers an hour of wind, and we are enjoying relatively stable conditions for the next 30 minutes. Just a cloudy sky. LFN has the fastest lap of the race, by the way, right now. Pretty impressive. Probably done on short fuel before his pit stop. And we'll go have a look at Slambonin, who is just 0.2 of a second away from Topher. Let's go out to the helicopter and enjoy this one. Slambonin versus Topher. North Sea. Well, certainly did something less than Topher and Slambonin. So either he took less fuel or he's going to run a 90-minute race on one set of tyres, North Sea. But he has leapfrogged them both here. He was in between them, I believe, when he went in for his pit stop. And he's gained 3.7 seconds on them. Now that could be damage repair, but it would be odd to have them both suffering similar levels of damage repair. GT4 is led by Alohi, followed by Milkman and Rob El Diablo on his Premier debut. Through turn 4 we go. There's a kink on the way between turn 4 and 5, and they don't count that, but they count the much shorter, much less consequential approach into the corkscrew as turn 7. It's very strange how racing tracks decide on corner numbers. That was Alpha passing Slambonin. Slambonin just making it easy for Alpha, and it's hopefully going to pay dividends for him as he goes through the corkscrew. you can see that Alpha is caught up behind of Topher, who's not really moving aside here. Doesn't have to move aside, just needs to be predictable. But this racetrack is a narrow, old-school, low-grip circuit, and you don't want to be playing around with the dirty parts of the racetrack unless you can absolutely not help it. So Topher extending his gap to Slambonin a little bit. Let's go back and see Chappie and Nate. As Chappie's made his pit stop, he's come out. Well, Nate has been in and come out in front of Chappie. So they should have similar fuel loads left in the car, but then there may be a situation where Nate was running full fuel at the start of the race. I would really doubt that anyone would try and run 90 minutes on a single set of tyres today. So ironically, really, the 90-minute race kind of normalises the strategy options. The only thing I would imagine the drivers are going to do and play about with is fuel. I'd be surprised if they were planning on trying to run a set of tyres in these temperatures at this aggressive curb track to run for 90 minutes on a set of tyres. But Chappie does look like he's got a bit more speed right now. Certainly was good enough for holding on to P3 earlier on. How's Nate looking in the picture-in-picture on his run? Should we have a quick close-up of Nate here? You can see him working the wheel. I don't think he's listening to us because he hasn't waved to us on the camera that I've seen anyway. So we will not bug him too much. Here we go, Chappie to the inside. Tricky overtaking point here through turn 6 as we run on up the hill. Chappie getting very close indeed. He's got a lot of confidence in that Ferrari. And it's so tricky, this corkscrew turn, because depending on how aggressive the drivers are going in, you can have some quite significant deltas in speed between drivers following one another. It's quite easy to slam into the back of another one as you head on in. Again, the 296 looking like it's in a different category of race car. It's such a big GT3 car. There's the pit window closed. It doesn't matter. Everyone's taken their pit stop, apart from me, who hasn't left the pits yet. Nate feels the stares of judgment, says Guros Kai. Yes, and he hasn't waved to us, so I'm very disappointed by Nate in that regard. He's done a fantastic job, and he's been managing the service today as well. So hats off to Nate. It is a super stressful situation hosting the servers, especially when things start going wrong. So he's handled it as you would expect someone like Nate to be able to. Very, very well and calmly, with a touch of humour as well. So that's awesome. Guros Kai, can we get you into ACC, do you think? It's a very different beast to GT7. Well, that's Nate. Is he wide? He is wide, unfortunately. He's just slipped off the racetrack. Easy done through turn 6, unfortunately, but he's dropped that place, dropped that provisional podium, and I imagine now we'll see Chappie kind of disappear off, because he has been really, really strong, Chappie, in that P3 position so far. Elite Rain is only half a second away from Major Get Wrecked, who got him, by the way, through the pit stop period. Guros Kai, there's a Prospect division and this Premier division, so there's plenty of opportunity and lots of daily races as well with no pressure. So give it a go. It's I wouldn't call it fun, but it's weirdly addictive. ACC. It's really difficult, but it's weirdly addictive. So yeah, I would heartily recommend at least giving it a go. Get the base content and see how you get on from there. You probably won't be able to take part in all of the daily races throughout the week here at Black Flag. If you do that. Before I started commentating Demon, my motto was, I take last place so you don't have to. So since that point, you've rightly realised that your commentator is a slower driver. Is that what you're saying? Kurowski. Or you found slower drivers since. Maybe that's what you're up to. Elite Rain on the rallycross trip. Hold it, Elite, hold it. Oh, it makes for a good clip, but unfortunately we are all the way around. And we need to stay out of the barrier as well. He has got the 98 coming up the hill quite quickly. That's Alpha. It flies by, as does the 26 Milkman in P2 in GT4. Down into the corkscrew once again then for Elite Rain. It's such a challenge, ACC, even to commentate Kurowski. As you can see, the user interface is somewhat different here. Oh, you're getting better, that's good, okay. Robert Diablo is in 3rd place, looking like a 3rd place finish on his debut here with us in GT4. For those that don't know, the small blue triangle next to the race number on the screen denotes that the driver is a GT4 driver. So we have mixed class by default here in Premier. Elite Rain is on the recovery again, but that's gifted a place over to, well, gifted a gap to Major Getrect of 7.1 seconds. Is it? No, it's 17 seconds. 7 seconds is Major Getrect's gap to Nate out on the curves once again. So many drivers going wide through turn 6 because it's so important as you climb the hill. That's the problem. It puts a lot of pressure on the drivers to maximise their run through there. Still with the fastest lap is LFN in the McLaren today. When do you see a McLaren set the fastest lap? Here in ACC, big tail snap and fantastically held once again by the number 7, LFN. Beautiful work from him. On one of his teammates at North Star Racing. We have just 4 teams here at Black Flag Racing this season. I don't know if there are plans to extend that to a 5th team, depending on driver numbers, in the next season of racing. But we will stay. You need to stay tuned to Black Flag Racing's channel and social media output. The busiest social media, the busiest Instagram in all of sim racing, I would say, especially the stories, are Black Flag Racing. Ghoststroke said, I was told that. Ghoststroke and Kurowski, you can have a race to the bottom, the 2 of you, at the standings. But LFN in that P2. Oh, thanks so much, Logan. 30 minutes left of the season, exactly. Very, very grateful for a tip there. Thank you so much. As LFN. 30 minutes to go. So we're past the tipping point for the finishing points to count today. If anything were to happen to our servers. 420 here, out in P6. It looks like it's saying he's in 2nd place there on his little LED windshield display. Ah, LFN is Angel. Well, that's really interesting to know. Thanks, thanks, Grace. Right, okay, that changes things. So he's actually it's perfectly to be expected then from Angel in the championship. So there you have it. I'll just double check then our standings. I'll keep an eye on the race. There's nobody particularly close to one another, but just to reconfirm, then Angel is 3rd. Yes, with the drop score on at 57 points. I don't think he will get any further up, but it's certainly possible here, Angel or LFN. I don't want to lose any moments on track, but you can go back and pause that again if you need to. Minus points, says Ghost. Sorry, Ghost. Minus points is a special moment there. Not one I thought I would live to see. So I think you can definitely go down in the history books. Found a reason to be remembered. Ghost stroke this season. That is tough though. That's really tough. I know you've got quite a lot of penalties early season, right? I think decisions didn't go your way, unfortunately. But yes, you can you can burn their history book, fair enough. Milkman out in the 26th then is 16.2 seconds away from the lead of the GT4 field, which is sitting with Alohi. Looks like he will nail that second place in the championship Alohi this season in the 57 here, just being passed by LFN P2. Ghost ruining the McLaren choice. I need to get back in your M6. You don't do a BMW GT4, do they? I haven't seen one here, so I don't know why you even bothered, to be honest. Oh, it's, yeah, there you go. Logan's saying, come give ACC a shot. Definitely. I'll tell you what, Girl-Sky, what I found anyway, and this could just be absolute rubbish for other people, but I found that it made me a better GT driver in Gran Turismo 7. Learning about weight transfer, tyre pressures, and the detail that goes into handling a GT3 in a more realistic, or at least certainly more difficult and nuanced sim like ACC. I found it improved my game. I didn't find that I was having to unlearn things. When I went back into GT7, things just felt a lot more comfortable and easy to handle in comparison to this absolute beast of ACC. One of us, let's go straight. Yes, indeed. So this is round 7 of the 7-round championship here. This racing season here at Black Flag Racing. Yes, we're all encouraging you and anybody else to join. Chappie is in P3 and is just getting by, or trying to get by, I should say, the Porsche, and that is Topher. No, North Sea. This is North Sea right here, out in 4th place in the GT4 field. Slambonin's race has somewhat come unglued, I'm sorry to say. Down in 13th now. Must have picked up some damage and been in the pits for an extended period of time. Yes, Hunter has certainly doesn't mind getting punted at all, does he? That didn't happen much at the start of the season. Milkman has also damaged his McLaren. Just see the front fender hanging off slightly in the 26. I think it's hurting his pace too dramatically. My other camera angle I usually commentate on, which I can probably go to, you can see their relative pace, last laps and everything, but without the benefit of being able to see the leaderboard working that we have as a web page plugin with G-Portal. I did want to be able to show you the current standings as we enjoy it. Chappie running well. Major Getrex is only 0.7 of a second away from Nate here, as they both go through the dirt left behind by one of the GT4 drivers. Should we join him on board, or at least in chase view here? Listen to that Audi engine. Well, pretty much the Audi exhaust, really. Hardly anybody wants to drive the Audi. And there you have the problem of lapping a driver. That has just cost Major Getrex several seconds, making the pass in towards the corkscrew, being slightly offline, costing him his gap to Nate there. Big moment. It's got to be a pretty frustrated Major Getrex in the cockpit today. 23.5 minutes to go then of our extended 90-minute season finale. Let me know, and let Logan and Hunter know in the live chat what you make of this extended race duration. We also do, just Curious Guy and anybody new to us, we also do super long endurance races. They are building through the course of the season. This season here at Black Flag. I'm just going to go ahead and find the Enduro calendar for you. So, endurance calendar, we have had the 6 hour of Kota, 8 hours of Spa, and the 10 hours of Imola. We went for 12 hours at Bathurst. This is, of course, with co-drivers, although there are some absolute sadists out there, Ghost Stroke, who run these things solo. Not, of course, in a VR helmet, but all the same. August 8th is the 14 hours of Indianapolis. The worst track configuration in sim racing that I've found so far. the ACC version of the GT World Challenge at Indianapolis. Then we go to the August 22nd, quite a short run over to the next race, 16 hours of this very track, Laguna Seca. What is wrong with the bookers this season? Making the calendar, wow. There you have it. We've got 16 hours of Laguna Seca, August 22nd. Then we have October 24th, 18 hours of the Nürburgring, Nordschleife included. And November 7th will be the 24 hours of Barcelona, as long as our servers hold up for that length of time. So we have co-drivers, we have teams co-driving across the course of the race. It's a lot of fun to co-drive with other people. I wish I could do more of it, but it's just not something I can fit easily. Get Wrecked was just letting Alpha by. I wondered what that was about, but that was just major. Actually releasing Alpha, he didn't have to do that, and it's cost him time once again, but he'll just hope that he gets that time back. When Alpha comes to overtake Nate, there is that classic turn 6 wide moment from Major. I think Alpha was too far away to blame that on dirty air, but an amazing endurance calendar this season. I have to say, Black Flag, it's been crazy. Weekly racing, I will just find out. There is a one make as well, which is GT4 one make schedule. The one make series is in the Aston, I believe, and that has now finished. But the GT4 series is still ongoing. We have 8th of July for Nürburgring Grand Prix, 22nd of July for Misano, and 5th of August for Paul Ricard as well for the GT4 series. But one of the things I think the community values most of all here is the weekly schedule of races. And that sees, usually on a Tuesday, the sprint races, 1 PM, 7 PM EST, and those are 2 25-minute races, unless I'm running the server and I mess around and don't build it properly. But it's usually the track ahead of the GT3, GT4 weekend races. Then we go on a Wednesday, 7 PM EST for the GT4s. 9 PM EST Fridays, Friday night fights, 45-minute races, and then we have our weekend Prospect and Premier divisional races, but those are now over for the season after today. And there's usually a pickup service somewhere running for hot lapping as well. Type in Black Flag and you'll find the servers that are up. You do have to be a member to pick up the password as well. Let's have a look at Topher in P12. Not far behind Lone Rider. Lone Rider's put in a fantastic middle stint of the race here. 19 minutes to go. Yes, and we will be updating, says Logan there, about a future series. And if you're looking to recruit, I'll happily post that on my YouTube posts. But like I say, I'm sure it'll be all over Black Flag Racing on Instagram. Topher, on board with him. Should we go for a little thrill ride for a lap on board this motion sickness camera for many people? Down into Andretti. Very different line to the car in front. I'm not sure it was 100% intentional, but it was there and it was done. Topher, 0.8 of a second behind Lone Rider. Going to hit a curb. Oh, that was very close to hitting the curb on the inside of turn 3. Waiting an age for the Chevy to grip in through 4. on paper, turn 5 and 6 look very similar, but they couldn't be more different and still be a pair of sequential left-handers. The compression right in the middle here, turn 6. Oh, you can just hear the gravel on the outside. Then we point up into the sky, find our braking zone somewhere, down for the corkscrew, all the way down to first gear, and then a short shift usually on the way out of there, so you don't light up the rear tyres. The car is, if you're lucky, the weight of the car is on 3 of your 4 wheels. 10, and then the final turn into 11. Seems to be getting a little bit of understeer on the car today. Topher lost a little bit of ground there, doubled the gap actually over the course of that lap. Take a look at North Sea Bub, who did his acrobatics earlier on, hitting the sausage curve on the inside. Out of this turn, I want to say it was coming through under the, it was actually that turn, it was underneath the Cooper Tyres banner above the track. Alpha leads by 19.3 seconds. We've seen bigger leads in GT3, but this is very important for Alpha. This is championship. Stakes here. Major Getrex and Nate are locked together in battle again here. Over the hill, back down again through the left-hand kink, and there is Major just flashing the lights, serving notice that he's on his way through, but Nate leaves in the space. And Major overcooks it into Andretti. Can't fault someone for having a go, especially if it's without contact. That's what we like to see. Drivers testing themselves and the limit of what their car can do. It's just under 0.4 of a second here between Major and Nate. Out onto the gravel goes Major. For the first time today through turns 5 and 6. So it'll be the same deal through 6. Now he's managed to just keep the right hand side of the car on something approximating asphalt. Very light on the brakes in the Audi. Nate is obviously being pretty cautious at the moment in the McLaren. Very different driving styles it looks like. Nate, whether that's done deliberately because of the car differences, but it does look like Major is throwing the car down into the apexes and dealing with any wide moments afterwards. Looks like Nate is doing the smooth classic slow in fast out approach. This though, Major has got to be able to get at least alongside into the braking zone of Andretti. Nate might think Major will do exactly the same thing again, but Major has measured this one. Down the inside we go, and a fantastic inside overtake then from Major, but he does put 2 wheels out on the gravel, and that looks like it's going to open the door for Nate possibly once again. So Major up to 4th. How long will that live? It's got less than 15 minutes remaining on our race clock. And, we go through turn 5. To see if the pressure will start to mount here. Keep your eye on Nate. I know it's a very small picture of Nate in the picture view. What has he got on his display there? He's got some sort of cartoon avatar covering his tyre pressures, I think, as well. Hyper competitive if you're covering a tyre pressures live on stream. But he does know that people are watching both his Twitch feed and here on my channel, so I can understand it. Drivers wanting to protect the condition of their car from people who can get into engineering discussions with their rivals. No one's driving and paying attention to this stream, but we do have teammates and engineers who are watching carefully. Again, track temperature just rising again by a further degree, but no drama, pretty much. A tough to get a camera shortcut for the rear-facing view here. It's just so clumsy. The commentary positions for the commentary options and key bindings. This is the dead fly camera. There it is. That's what I wanted to see. I haven't seen this view for a little bit. We can watch back at the red late breaker McLaren of Nate, and you can watch Nate's forward view in his relatively fixed cockpit camera angle. Past the North Star McLaren GT4 with ease. I've not heard of a Bubba Burger before. In which states do you get a Bubba Burger? Nice food outlet. Under 12 minutes to go. Alpha leads ahead of LFN or Angel and Chappie. And in the GT4 field, Alohi leads Milkman and Robel Diablo. Characteristic brake whine of a ACC car running towards the end of its brake pad lifespan. Tell me in chat as well as the Bubba Burger question. Tell me about the brake pads here over 90 minutes. Is that something we need to be changing in the pit stop for a 90-minute stint? They do sound absolutely horrible on board the Audi right now. Nate's gone very wide and deep into the apex of the corkscrew's second corner, and it's becoming a decreasing sized dot in the horizon out there. Major is on his way by, looks like a Lohi's 57, is it? Yes. Yes, indeed, you're right, Kuroskai. If your car was making that noise, people would say go to a mechanic. Sometimes it's just about the brakes being a bit too cool, or conversely, overheating. But usually it's the pads have worn down to nothing when they're really streaking like that. Elite Rain is in 6th place. We've got a Lohi there leading the GT4 field, of course. As, we saw North Sea almost at a standstill, allowing the McLaren in P2 of Angel, LFN. 57 of Alohi running around the outside there as the number 7 gets underneath him. Milkman is in P2. Number 26, we have Robel Diablo in P3. For a, unless he's one of our permanent drivers with a different gamer tag. He's on his debut today, Robel Diablo. Lone Rider is in 10th place. Overall, that's 4th. Now, given how he started from the pit lane and seemed to not really be making a lot of headway at the start of this race, he has certainly picked up the pace so far today, Lone Rider. To finish 4th from a pit lane start is a very, very good account of himself. Topher in the somewhat chunky Chevy, the only Chevy in the field today, as Major Getrek goes by. Have his late breaker teammate Nate next up to make the pass. Clearly, Nate hasn't given an instruction to the 485 Topher there to make life difficult for Major Getrek, or at least make Major Getrek drive past you and make an overtake. North Sea Bub in the Porsche in what is that, 6th place in class, and Slambonin fighting hard. This is the final 2 positions of the GT4 field. Slambonin has slammed his front fender on something. The shut lines are not supposed to be that large, and North Sea Bub has done the same to his own hood there. So car's not looking in great condition, but still circulating here after over 80 minutes of racing. down into the last 8 minutes now. Given that we had 2 server crashes just in qualifying alone, let alone practice or counting prospect series, we've done incredibly well to get to 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes to go without a server breakdown. So whatever was going on today, either with G Portal or Kunos or PlayStation Network or Xbox, it has certainly allowed us to get to this far into the race. We've got Slambonin then trying to get down the inside, and there was barely a car's width against the pit wall there. Elite Rain will be giving the hurry up, and I think makes contact in the braking zone, and Slambonin into the wall, and that hurts in a big way, more ways than one, you've got to say, as Slambonin then further damaged the front of the car. Let's see if we can get on board with him and find out if he has got a problem. I'm trying to get the good camera angle. I can't remember what button I pressed last time. It's not that one. It's not that one either. Sometimes when you have an accident in ACC, you end up with your steering out of kilter. Well, that was huge. Thanks, Ghost Stroke. Appreciate you. Your I don't know if that was deliberate, but your name you've addressed me as is Huevo, which is why, if you know your Spanish, is why certainly in mainland Spain, my name comes up as an explicit word and won't allow anybody to use it in any kind of server or lobby title or anything in Spanish, Huevo, but it's come up that way, Ghost Stroke. So yes, hope the rest of your workday goes well. Sell lots of produce out there in Alaska, won't you? Slambonin, no damage on the car, thankfully enough for him, I think, but yeah, big. There we go. It was F6 on my keyboard I needed to press to find out what's what. So just under 5 minutes to go as we see Alpha, who hasn't matched his race suit and overalls and helmet to his BMW exterior. There it is, the green of Chewy Motorsports, named after Hunter's dog, Chewy. Number 98, leading. It says by 1 lap over the number 7, but the number 7 is about to cross the line here with just under 4 minutes 50 to go, and LFN Angel crosses the line. Should get a time update from him, but it's starting to look like this is going to be the picture of our race results. So far the gap's rather large. 60 laps have been run. We will go to I'm going to guesstimate 63 as we run under the Mother's Polish banner and work bridge. No problem, Work Nickel. You're most welcome. It's been a pleasure as always to commentate. Not necessarily on ACC, but with this community, definitely. It's worth the struggle on this setup. So for those that don't know, you've got a bunch of mystery keybinds on controller that don't always work. So what you have to do is load up the game using a Bluetooth keyboard to make that your primary input. Turn off your DualShock 4 if you're on PlayStation, of course, and then you just access the game, servers and everything through a keyboard. So I have to navigate my commentary cam using the keyboard to make this. And yeah, Going Grey says hopefully LMU this time next year. Oh, I hope they bring it in with crossplay, because I've got it on PC. But anyway, yeah, no, basically I have to. This is a different way of commentating to what I normally do, which is to sit in the pit lane and then go and view other drivers. But boy, oh boy, is it complicated and clunky. It was never built for commentary. This sim platform, and especially on on console. Major Get Wrecked in P4 right now. LFN settled into second. I think I saw him lap Major Get Wrecked there. Chappie in the 4:05 is technically still on the lap, or the same lap as LFN, but he has gone a lap down to the outright leader Alpha. Alpha is ahead of him there. Like I say, gaps growing by the lap here. But 2 minutes 15 to go then. See how Slamboni's doing. Slamboni's had to come in for damage repair and may have actually retired from the race, down to 12 active runners then that we have on the circuit. This is North Sea Bub, who had that viral moment, I'm gonna say, with his two-wheel tour through this very turn and exit earlier on. Topher in the 7.5 seconds back from Lone Rider. Very impressed with Lone Rider, by the way, in the 76. He has put in a hell of a drive here to come home. What I'm expecting to be fourth in GT4. We may get late race cutouts or disconnections, but there's still just 1 minute and 30 left to go. Headlights are actually on here for Rob El Diablo. I'd be surprised if it's dark enough, but certainly if he's manually switched those on. Milkman in second in the 26. He has, what has he got? 2 sectors of the racetrack. He is stuck behind of Alohi. Nate looks like he's going to come in the final position of the active GT3s today. I think that's leader on the last lap notification. Didn't quite hear it. Someone was talking over Hans. Elite Rain in 5th. We have Major Get Wrecked in 2nd place, and Chappie in 3rd in GT3. Looks like it's a very good payday for Chewy Motorsports, who are on track for a 1st and 3rd in GT3 and a 1st in GT4. There is Alohi, excuse me. There is Angel LFN on your screen today, and we go to see. We've got Alpha here. As perhaps we should probably do him the honour of riding with him for the end of this final racing lap. Last time through the terrifying corkscrew. He's tamed it so far. Can he make it 63 out of 63? Absolutely. Never in doubt, was it? Rounding through turn 9. He's slowing right down here for formation finish, I think, unless he's run out of fuel. How's that for a finish? I believe that sounds like someone who's run out of fuel for Alpha. It's going to bring this home. Formation finish perhaps with Chappie is the plan. He's got a 24-second event. Look at this. Fantastic stuff from Chewy Motorsports here. Oh, what a fantastic show there as they go to cross the line. Alpha's going to win. Chewy Motorsports on the podium in 3rd place with Chappie. And that was Alohi winning the race as well. Fantastic display from Chewy Motorsports at the finish. That is a traditional endurance finish there for them. LFN totals his car. He doesn't need it after today, but that's some significant damage. Major Get Wrecked home in P4, and Nate will be 5th in the end, because it looks like, has Elite Rain run out of fuel? No, I think he's let Nate go by because of a championship positional situation, or just a formation finish they're planning here for the late breakers as well. So Nate and Elite Rain with looks to be Topher all about to cross the line together. Love to see it. First time I've seen this from the teams, but it just goes to show here at Black Flag Racing what these new teams mean to our drivers, and how much unity they've developed over the course of just this short 7-race season, not counting course endurance events. But there's your flares on the racetrack. Elite Rain and Nate will cross the line almost together. Who's going to get it in the end? As there goes Topher. That's the closest finish for teammates so far, you've got to say, as the 3 of them cross the line together. Nate home in 6th, Elite Rain in 5th, sorry. Alohi home. We've just got a couple of drivers finishing up. Rob El Diablo and completed the podium of GT4 with the Milkman, with Lone Rider Topher and North Sea Bub Slambonin, the last driver running. It looks like out in P13. Humanoid Forest, no, sorry, Slambonin is in the pit lane. Humanoid Forest disconnected from the server, all retired out in 13. 12 cars finished a 90-minute epic. But that was our finish. Those are your provisional results, and it looks like it's Alpha's Championship as well as GTX, Dave. So congratulations to our new champions. Thank you for your support and any tips you've sent through so far today. Very, very grateful for all of you. It's great to be here, and hopefully we'll be back with more next season. So this is Webbo. This has been Black Flag Racing's season here at Premier. From all of us at the trackside, thank you so much, and we will catch you on the next race day.